Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Team Fortress TV. It is week one of ETF2L season 38. We've got some Premiership action. We've already seen 3 matches this week. We've got a good one now. It's going to be GlobalClan.EU versus nerdRage. Joining me today, I've got Beta on production, and joining me on the cast is going to be DuMmTm.
Yeah, like you said, it should be an interesting one. Hi. I'm interested to see this. I mean, the obvious reaction, I think, for most people would be expecting nerdRage to win. I'm certainly on that boat, but Global Clan is keen. Global Clan has performed fairly well in the preseason, so I'm interested to see how far they can push themselves going into this match tonight.
Yeah, certainly. So we've seen in this first week, obviously not the most important, but there's been some sort of polarizing results. All of the matches, pretty sort of steep margin between the teams, and the 3 teams taking the top spots in their table right now are going to be Feint, Aura, Electro, and Top 5 Rocket. And nerdRage or GlobalClan.EU are going to look to join them here in this first week.
Yeah, should be an interesting one. It kind of reminds me of last season as well, where Charlie's team of the time, I think they used the same roster page still, backed a new team. Also immediately had to play against the heavy hitters. I think it was Ascent last week, week 1 for them. This time it's nerdRage going into the season as probably most people's first seed, I want to imagine. Certainly the heavy hitter here to beat. So immediately, once again, a difficult one out of the way for them. Maybe a good thing if you don't have, obviously, like surefire aspirations towards first place, but only want to get into playoffs first of all before even reaching that far. Probably a good one to get out early rather than late. If you improve throughout the season, probably best to have the close matches later. And it's only going to get closer from here. Every other match here should be probably at least a tiny step below Global Clan, if not more than that, if we go further down the ladder here in Premiership. So interesting one. nerdRage, on the other hand, obviously they know how good they are. They've been here, they've done this. They want to keep being here, however. And with the roster as good as theirs, they obviously have the high aspirations of making first place, certainly have a good shot at it, but still got to play well. We've seen throughout the ages here, these rosters have at least some shaky days at the very least. So they got to actually play somewhere close to their best to be able to beat a team like Global Clan.
Yeah, certainly. So we've seen some pretty convincing results out of Global Clan, particularly on process. I think they're a bit more ropey on Sunshine, but they're going to look to sort of, as you say, get this one out of the way. nerdRage definitely the ones to beat at this point, and definitely sort of favourable to get that one out nice and early, and then sort of seek to take out the more simple competition. We saw last weekend as well. They had a really good cup. nerdRage, they were really dominant throughout basically all of it. Had a bit of a fight put up to them by Feint, but Charlie as well showing what him and his boys can do, making moves, dancing about, and causing some upsets there. So yeah, it's definitely could go either way on this first map here. Could be seeing an upset.
Yes, for sure. Rosters, for anyone not yet aware of, Global Clan evolved out of new team from last season. It is Ixie and Flick on Scout, Memphis and Charlie on the Soldiers, Dagger on Demoman, Dario on Medic. Some familiar faces, some maybe not so much. Dagger certainly has been around for a little while, towards the high divisions as well, but obviously not to the top. He's the newcomer on this team in relative terms anyway. Everyone else much more of a known quantity. It's just a matter of putting it all together to work. For the moment, working fairly well. Like you said, in the Cup a few days ago, in the competition we had here on Criticast, I believe it was covered on, they had a strong 4th place finish, only finishing beyond the sort of expected top Prem level players here from what is the remnants of top 5 and Ascent playing together, Feint and nerdRage. So really strong showing there, beat teams like Aura, Electro as well to get there. Really good performance here. I will be interested to see, especially how Dagger does as the lesser known quantity of the team, to see if that is what they need to be able to take anything in Premiership, let alone anything in terms of like just work out of nerdRage to take a win.
Yeah, certainly. As you mentioned, Dagger is a Prem debutant this season. He's the only one in the server we're going to be seeing today. Though he is new in Prem, he should be sort of well integrated with these players. He's been circulating around them for quite some time in the PugChamp League. So he's from what we saw in the Cup, he's integrated well within that squad and should look pretty comfortable as we actually do see both teams readying up. We're about to go live. It is season 38 of ETF2L, week 1. We've got process of the first map, nerdRage versus GlobalClan.EU here.
Yeah, that should be interesting. nerdRage, for anyone unaware, obviously, so you see it on screen now. It is Moralexi and Gazi on Scout Canoe being now Moralexi, for anyone wondering, as well as Josh and Navi on the sort of seats and Medic Nasboy. All this auto called as always on the Devilman here, rolling into mids as quick as they can into the soldiers, not quite getting anything forward just yet, but here comes bomb number 2, Navi high in the sky, Josh trying to rotate behind them, taking some position away, but Mathis is just waiting for them in sewer, so that's just not going anywhere for nerdRage.
That was really unbelievable focus fire there from GlobalClan. Just looked like nerdRage were just a bit stuck there. They didn't quite know what to do. Both of their bombs came in. It didn't really make too much ground off of it, and they just got completely crunched. And a lovely pipe there did see Seeds going down as well. That's a full wipe from nerdRage. GlobalClan maintain all of their players as they roll into this second, looking to take it very comfortably as well. Roll into last with their full Uber advantages, and nerdRage are scrabbling to get some defensive setup going, which we do see here. They've got the Pyro, they've got the NG, but GlobalClan, they're holding W. They're not looking to hang about for too long here.
Alright, let's see. Uber's ready. Josh is forcing this a little early, but they're still ready to go. Gun down immediately. Dagger gets that down. Flick with the sticks. Busy on the point here, but this opens up the captain right now. They have to test. Bomb comes through by Navi, but just gets juggled off once again, and it is just that easy. GlobalClan starting off the season hot already.
Yeah, they have really used that momentum well. They just piled into last, played the space, and just completely decimated nerdRage, made them look, sort of caught them completely off guard, very much on the back foot. Now GlobalClan coming into the second mid, looking to do it again. We are just 2 minutes into this fixture, already a round up to GlobalClan.
Alright, everything's still possible here, but that goes for GlobalClan just the same as nerdRage. Let's see how they take this mid fight. For now, not so lucky just yet. Scout right on top of them, he did some damage. Will get the kill on the map as well. Dagger taken down as well. Charlie tries to make some magic happen here on the medic, but it's just Navi getting the kill onto Dowie instead. Nothing happening to Seeds. The only one left is actually fighting the good fight, but it's not going to be enough to get to Seeds here. Much better response by nerdRage here. Just much quicker on the aggression. Don't let these soldiers have any fun at all, and there you go. It is that easy already onto last, trying to spawn camp. Unfortunately, 50-50 not working out in Asboy's favor. Picks the left door, they're coming right instead, getting out of spawn. Will still stay on last situation here for GlobalClan, but overall, nerdRage can be still very happy with this outcome.
Yeah, they did a really excellent job there of shutting down GlobalClan's passive hold. They bomb through and just convert those frags so quickly. Don't let them get away with anything. As AC does actually pick off Josh in 5, so that's definitely going to slow nerdRage down. They don't want to be pushed into aggro here with a man down, but as well they don't want to hang about for too long, and they do actually come in. They're in through 4. Gun is down near imminently. Not too much damage on the remaining GlobalClan players as they're sort of scrabbling about, trying to do what they can. They're sort of half stuck, sort of trapped in this lobby area, and they are going to sort of have to back out, but a huge pressure being applied by GlobalClan. Their explosive classes coming in. So many weak players on nerdRage, but no frags being converted, and with 2 players down on GlobalClan, they do sit on a pretty chunky Uber advantage, but it's not looking all that good for nerdRage here.
Well, I mean, with the picks down, if they are right now on GlobalClan, nerdRage can still make some magic happen. It is a very quick force. They don't want to wait at all. Pull the trigger early. Seeds is still in lobby. Why not put the pressure on them here? Go right in, get the kill on the medic, see what you can do from there, clean up the house, play safe. They know there's people coming last. You just got to stay alive, keep Dowie alive, and not let them get to this point. And it won't get there at all. Gas still hiding. That's about it for now. On nerdRage here, maybe the hiding player can do something. Dowie's right on them, but they aren't aware here. Scout will stay, does not take the bait just yet. Maybe for Bass people are spawning now, but maybe with a team repush effort, this can work out for the Scout hiding still.
Ooh, Gaze, he's rotated onto this thing now, looking to get something, but just gets picked straight off by Mattez. He checks it, he knows what he's about, so nerdRage are set up on this mid now. A player down, GlobalClan, a 20% Uber advantage in hand. Not the most useful, but they're looking to make their mark in this midpoint now, just sort of pressuring through the choke, but nerdRage applying huge pressure with their spam on top here.
Right, they tried to take some to Dowie. He ate so much spam and just doesn't have already, and it just shows that this is a bluff right now. They can't go in anymore if they want to not risk the medic's life. For now, that means just time for nerdRage to get some more damage and maybe pick off some players overextending off the beam, but the longer this takes, the better it gets. Dowie has already, and unfortunately for them, they will have to use it, but at least they can if they have to, and they will clean up already. Navi, Nasboy down, lose Charlie in the meantime. Josh in behind, tries to just live for now. Connect with the rest of his team up in choke, where the scouts are waiting with the medic, trying to live at all. They have Uber, they don't have much life right now, but the longer this takes, once again, the better they get the spawns up slowly but surely. And GlobalClan knows of this Uber, and they don't have anyone in a position they would like to see jump in here, so they're falling back quite safely at the very least, but still back to second after a very much not successful Uber.
Yeah, GlobalClan had a good crack at it. They took the space, but ultimately Seeds just come in with that Uber, not dying in that exchange whatsoever. The spawners coming through with forwards as well, just meant GlobalClan had to recede, and they've been able to convert this second point now, nerdRage, and they're not looking to hang about as they pile in through one. A good headshot there from Ixie onto Gazy does take him out of the fight. Uber about to fade, but nerdRage are all over this last right now.
Alright, there's the bombs coming in. Navi from one side, everyone else from behind them as well. Just keep up the pressure, get Dowie, that's the least you want. With the picks, they're down already. Probably all they're gonna get here as well, but they made sure they're gonna get the least they need here to have another repush going. With Seeds living, this is certainly more than enough to get another chance. Maybe not quite the push they wanted, but it's gonna be tough for GlobalClan to take this out of last. They're peeking already, they're gonna take the chances. Heals are not here yet, so you gotta be careful, but given how little is alive until these two spawning soldiers and the DuMmTm come back in, you might have the time for the second cap. Delays nerdRage, but they really don't think can stay here. Dagger already feeling that, but Dowie just barely gets an arrow in time through Shutter. Really clutch there for the medic to save the DuMmTm. Demo down already, would just mean they walk in without Uber even being up yet. Probably as it stands, nerdRage will take their time, get this to 100% and push with invincibility. Have to get plus Ixie though. He has been hitting these snipes every time on entry. They need to be careful about that.
Yeah, certainly so. But they sort of recognize that and using straight away the party onto the point. Kuno, it just stacks completely onto it. So many players try and commit in. There's just a bit of a melee going on here. So much spam going either way. Scouts doing what they can. Unfortunately, Flick and Charlie going down for GlobalClan.EU. They're piling in nerdRage. They have got the health, they have got the numbers, but they need the focus fire. There's just 2 players remaining. And they do have to back out here.
Yeah, it's not quite good enough. Raw firepower will get GlobalClan out of this one for now. nerdRage, I mean, they have control of the game right now, but they're not able to finish it off, and that's just not what they like to see right now. Still peeking second, they know the spawns are coming, they want to take a fight here. Navi already jumping in for some pressure, rest of the team spawning in as well. Now Nas not healthy from spawn as the Eagle comes in. DuMmTm stuck, gets an arrow, but no time at all to leave. Ixie and Math is already deep towards mid, trying to keep up the pressure here, trying to go deep. Rest of the team following up now, both scouts leading this forward. All of nerdRage slowly falling back, but they have the Uber now, and this will flip the switch immediately back into aggression. Josh leading the charge for the blue team. Dowie completely caught. A few players behind them though, they gotta be careful here to not lose everything else. In the meantime, everyone on GlobalClan wants to keep fighting. They need this medic to go down, and Seeds is in a bit of a troubled position here, but has everyone around him, and everyone just ends up bombing the pack area on their own half of mid, but Seeds is just nowhere close to that.
A common thing we see with nerdRage is they just play for insurance all the time. Even if they give something up, they always sort of plant themselves to be on the front foot in the next phase of play, and that's why we keep seeing them being able to pull off these last pushes, and the pressure was just too great for GlobalClan there. They lost too many numbers. The spawners came in late, and it was just nice and clean there for nerdRage. They pick up their first round.
Yeah, it took a while, but maybe this is where the Titans finally wake up here once again. Certainly they have that expectations on themselves here, and GlobalClan has gotten some blood out of them, so they want some more. Let's see how the mid-fight goes. They have been very 50-50 in terms of how good they've been for each side here. Let's see how this one goes. Both soldier pairs trying to be taking the high ground here, not taking the better, too much, just some spam, and scouts arriving, being spawning back for the second. This is now where they try to go in. Navi and Josh together, right into Charlie's rockets, all the damage for the Brit, getting the kills onto both of them with some help by the scout, and this just opened the floodgate. Charlie goes in, tries to make space, doesn't get a ton of damage out of this one though, and with Dagger down as well, this is falling apart quicker than they would like.
Yeah, GlobalClan sacking Flick there, trying to buy time for Doi to get out successfully with Ixie there. It just looked like it was going to go a bit pear-shaped there for nerdRage as they commit both their soldiers in, and Charlie shuts them straight down, but damage seemingly enough. Excellent focus fire from nerdRage, and they just managed to sort of flip that right around. GlobalClan aren't looking to give up this second without a fight, though it is equal Uber, as we sort of see them just exchanging, doing what they can, and Ixie aggresses forward into Nazboy, does get the force off. It's out of both teams now, but GlobalClan definitely maintaining this height for the time being.
There we go, the scouts take high ground to Morlexi already on the high ground. Nas spamming across the point here. People go really weak on both sides for that matter. They're also putting some damage. Charlie weak already though. That's one player basically taken out. Flick now actually taken out as well, and this is more than enough to force them back. Finally, great damage by nerdRage to take this here. Only one pick into last right now. It's not great. Maybe enough to take an opening into a med kill, and with it being even, maybe that's good enough as well. Soldiers try to body block. Josh still gets in deep, but both of them falling back to the pressure means they're right on Josh, and with more actually going down as well. This will have to be nerdRage leaving once again out of the lobby area. Not a too big a loss. It's tough to play out of this one for GlobalClan, but they will actually try. Charlie already leading this forward. Rest of the team following through now. Scouts on the point, getting the cap time, and with the damage they're getting towards Shook, this might be good enough. Bombs come through as well. They are so close to getting Nas, but Charlie, despite Mathis' damage, wants the medic instead. Got nothing between those two, with Mathis and Charlie both going down now. This will certainly be a quick repush on the side of nerdRage now.
Yeah, GlobalClan.EU going to have to resign themselves for last, but look behind, Nubby is in. He gets 2 rockets off onto Doey, but he's got balls of steel, doesn't use it just yet, but forces onto nothing. All of his players down. nerdRage haven't got their second, which might be a saving grace with 2 of their spawners coming up in 3. Charlie's just got the world stacked against him as he does get the force out of nerdRage, but they are piling into last. They've got so much ground. GlobalClan tried to get in, tried to do what they can, but ultimately it wasn't enough, and nerdRage just completely punished GlobalClan there after they lost those 2 players on second.
Yeah, just a really patient play by nerdRage on second every time, waiting as much as they need to get a proper fight out of it every single time, twice in a row now. And it will work out once again, and with the mid-fights looking up for them after the first one, nerdRage slowly but surely getting back into the shape you'd expect to see them in. GlobalClan needs to find some answers quickly before this is too late.
Yeah, nerdRage definitely in their comfort zone now. They are a round up. They've got good high ground on this mid as well, but GlobalClan.EU looking to return. Soldiers at both bomb from GlobalClan. Charlie and Matez are just crawling all over nerdRage, doing huge damage, but not without return from Nubby. Does go down to Charlie and flick down on the side of GlobalClan as well. nerdRage really balling up around their medic, just trying to stop anyone from getting into it as they attempt.
Great rocket by Mathis there, just 2 shots down more Alexi. Gazi, however, winning the scout 1v1 is probably just as, if not more important. They're just stuck deep into enemy territory right now, trying to get out of here. Mathis will have some work to do. That way he disappears through PC, but the people here are still hiding. Gazi and Nasboy just about clean up the soldier. It's too late to chase the medic at this point. Spawns coming in as well. Nice shots, unfortunately. Not enough to win a mid-fight by itself here. It was an interesting one. They took it deep into red area of the crates there. Tried to just go in behind maybe or rotate on them, but didn't quite work. Still have 1 spawner left to go, and that's a perfect opportunity to send a player behind. Soldier on the flank missing. Now he immediately takes the opportunity, is behind him, and before the spawn can spot him, just go straight in, misses with 1 rocket. The scouts are there though. Gazi gets the follow-up. That's enough for the force right there. Might cost them both in the end. Gazi certainly too deep to leave in the end, but what are they going to do? The Uber got used in a position where no one was ready to sack. Charlie tries the best one man can, but right into a scout waiting on the rock. Just follows in the spawn wave for the rest of the team. Mathis and said Ixie behind actually. Mathis disappears to let him get the flank. I don't know if they spotted that. There was a lot of distraction between both soldiers cycling through mid. Maybe they didn't see it. No, Nubby seems aware. Doesn't want to let the man escape, but this is soldier jumping a scout. And that's not gonna work too well for Nubby.
Yeah, Ixie's causing a bit of a nuisance, having a bit of revenge after the bomb and Nubby pulled off just then. GlobalClan.EU do still have Ixie behind here, so not going to be able to contest this second. He's really got to try and do something with it to try and contribute to the team fight, but ultimately does go down to Gazy. GlobalClan set up on this last, they're building, they're just 5% away now, so we're going to see an equal Uber push here. nerdRage again just biding their time. They know they don't need to rush at this stage.
Yeah, they have all the time to play with right now, like you say. Spy will certainly be just in their interest here. Navi already lobby, hopefully disguised as something believable there, walking right into that. The friendly soldier, well, that might do it. We'll see if they take the bait here for the Spy to still get in.
Yeah, he's being quite patient with it. He's going to wait for a distraction from his team before he can go for something. It looks like Doey is the man he's after. He's been in disguise for so long though and just gets shut down near imminently.
Oh, they tried to get a bomb with this as well. Josh tried to take the opportunity here while everyone's looking at Navi. But that's the gun already. It's only level 1, but that is already enough to get you stuck midair if you jump right on top of it. So, soldier down. Maybe an opening here, 2 down. GlobalClan has tried this before. It didn't work too well so far. And with Nasboy just denying the shot area and Charlie not able to help out from up top there at rollout, it's going to be tough to get through. And by the time they are now, spawns are here. Nasboy incredibly weak as to fall back. That really gets them help. Just take the pack instead of an arrow as the fight keeps going. Navi beats Mathis in the 1v1 here, tries to go behind, beats Charlie, but Charlie doesn't want to take this fight. There's too many blue players coming still after that. Josh gets the kill in the end, bullet right in the head afterwards. Ixie has been hitting these snipes, but just too sparingly so far to make a difference. The bombs come through anyway. They want to get onto Dowie. They want to zoom out already, and with no hold here, no one ready for it too much just yet. Out of second. That's a quick force to get, with Seeds nowhere in range to get a counterforce.
Yeah, that was really solidly played from nerdRage. Again, as we mentioned before, they just play for insurance all the time. They never give up more than 1 point, it seems, and constantly on the front foot here. So, gonna have another crack at last. They are 70% Uber advantage, all of their numbers up. They have managed to spam the gun out as well, so if they're going to be looked to take a bit of ground, and GlobalClan again just sort of cruxing on Ixie to get a huge pick as he has many a time before.
Alright, Dwayne on the right side. Everyone's just taking this deep and more to the point. That's with some stakes trying to deny people from blocking. Soldier still gets the damage to juggle off. Someone gets Navi down as well. Gazi goes down. Suddenly, no cap time actually at all. The stakes were there and time for Dagger to save the day. No one could get more in on the point, and suddenly Heavy out of spawn as well. With these people already down, they cannot fight this back any longer on nerdRage. Have to fall back. It's still not a huge opening though, and this has not worked so far once I think for GlobalClan consistently. They got to mid once, but it ended up pretty quickly too out of last year. Taking a chance once again, at least they have everyone alive now. This is as good as it's gonna get. But however, also for nerdRage to have mostly everyone alive. Now he tries to jump in, gets body blocked by the soldier there. Doesn't get in. Josh there as well. The other side gets huge damage though. Maybe that's enough to play off. Gazi tries to get the flank and walks over Ixie, and with both soldiers denied, this is a huge opening for the side of the blue team.
Yeah, that was so solid from Nazboy as well. It looked like Siege was a bit caught there. He was launched into the fight by a pipe from Dagger, but ultimately they come out good. Doe's Uber does expire. Players still are in, but gonna have to back out through one, but not without trying to sort of get that force out of Siege. They were close, but no cigar. Managing to pick off Nubby, but he picks up 2. So nerdRage now have got the second point. Uber was forced there by Matez. And they look to sort of make an impression on last. There's a GlobalClan. Are just 2 players up now. Partly onto point. Ixie being focused down by the scouts, but he lived for so long. GlobalClan.EU do have their players up now. Darga manages to pick off more Alexi. Just partly in GlobalClan. nerdRage seeing what they can do. They're making a good round now. Making just enough opportunity for Gazy to get onto that point, but it's ultimately Seeds that comes in at the end. And that round does go the way of nerdRage. It's now 3-1. We are 17 minutes into this first map here, Process. As we go to the 5th mid here, nerdRage looking to be very comfortable right now. 2-round advantage. And we are going to see what happens this time around.
Alright, the Patience playstyle took a while to get started, but certainly looks as good as ever right now here. Certainly just coming on top of the fights on second every single time. Mostly Soul mid, and the damage is just huge already. Therefore, with the spam of a bit of soldier damage, gets the pipes onto the whole combo. 3 down already. Ixie last man going down here to just a little bit of after damage by the scout, and they're all keen to get some more. Unfortunately, GlobalClan took the message early, leaves already, but now he's caught in the crossfire. There's a soldier behind, slows him down for just a second. And suddenly, this is just everyone dying with this perfect timing. Nabi's still on last, probably can't go anywhere, but really also doesn't need to at all. Almost gets an arrow, actually, just hits now in the wall that he stood in front of, but either way, they're all in already. Nabi goes down, but everyone's on last. They have the second point already. This just went down in no time whatsoever. High bomb by the soldier on the point. Josh with huge damage gets Charlie. Uber comes out as well. Finally ready after all this. He just pop on point and maybe make the rest of the work happen here fairly quickly. Takes a while, some shots being missed. That moment gets back to spawn. Mathis denies this forever, actually. A few missed shots here and there, but Siege just wants to mess up them himself. Tries to go with the melee weapon, doesn't quite work. Now he wins the 1v1. This last bit of fighting there was a little bit uglier than nerdRage probably wanted, but they could have fought any and all of that.
Yeah, Siege getting a bit impatient, does pull out the solemn vow and sees what he can do with it, but that was a really clean convert from nerdRage there. The god pipes from Nazboy right at the start, picking off 2 frags, and then Nubby just causing an absolute ruckus on last. Men GlobalClan were never in a position to get settled. And we are seeing again a very fast mid as Nubby bombs in. Does manage to get Darga. That's really going to sort of ruin GlobalClan.EU's mid fight here. They've got no position whatsoever. They're just going to have to resign themselves to a back out near instantly. But nerdRage do have their finger on their trigger. They're applying even more pressure, but the bomb comes through from Charlie. Does manage to get Nazboy, so not letting nerdRage quite get away with everything they want to do.
Alright, well, it's not quite that easy. Gavi in the Scouts 2v1, and that's not going to be ending too well for the Scout, and we're actually escaping with Siege right now. Navi didn't get the memo, wants to go straight in. Unfortunately, the meme spoon's only good if you can land, and Navi never makes it out the sky alive there against these 2 scouts. Ixie and Flick might have been on the receiving end of this game for a little while now, for the past 10 minutes or so, but not going to be going down that easily. It's Soldier denied mid-air. They're taking the mid-fight back after maybe taking it a bit too easy on nerdRage, and that's, I feel like, the story of the game so far. nerdRage needed to be reminded that it's not quite that easy here in Premiership. As good as they are, they have to work for this, but now they have a 4-1 lead. Now it's looking a whole lot better for them here, and even if this somehow were to be now a huge turning point for GlobalClan, 3 rounds at the least to get to a golden cap in 3 minutes, 10 minutes, sorry, not 3. That would be much more of an accomplishment. In 10 it's still not easy, and they have no choice but to try something here. There comes the Mathis bomb to try to get some magic through this, but can't quite get the landing on point. It's tonight where the Scouts lives for now anyway, but it's just not what they need to see here. Mathis will live to see another day, but still not a play to work onto the second hold.
Yeah, looks like GlobalClan just wanted to distract for an IT bomb as Charlie actually does do the Captain Bomb, gets in behind, he's in on the medic as well, he's done huge damage against Nazboy. Doesn't quite get the force out of Seeds there, but that is unbelievable damage inflicted onto them. Nubby going down 2. GlobalClan do pop, but Seeds just maintaining it for now.
Oh, not quite. Spoke too soon. Flick immediately just in the face first into the medic. Gets the force out. Math is going down as well, just too close here in the end. Only 3 up. They need to be careful. Or all of nerdRage to just walk over them, and they're trying as much as they can, but they don't want to really overextend too much in the end as well into these spawning players on red coming in any second. So mid's all they're going to get out of this force, but that's more than enough right now, given the situation in the game that we are headed in right now. Still, it's not exactly advantage for Seeds. They can be comfortably sitting on mid at least, but the situation stays the same. GlobalClan is forced to take the issue forward in any way, shape, or form they can.
Exactly. nerdRage are comfortable here. There's 9 minutes remaining. They are rounds up, and not just 1 round, they're 3 rounds up, so looking to sort of allow GlobalClan to make all the aggression, make all the plays, and then they're just going to sit back and look to punish them here as Nubby, as I say, Nubby does actually bomb in and able to convert anything. Should be seeing a counter attack out of GlobalClan soon enough, but actually the force does come through. Trade is taking place on point as nerdRage are piling through this choke area. Dowie does go down as well in post, with Charlie getting picked off by Mora Alexi as well. GlobalClan looking to have a bit of return with their remaining players, but they're just completely outnumbered by nerdRage. They do manage to get Mora Alexi, but Artez is the last remaining player with Flick there.
Still a bit of DM fight here. Flick goes down. Math is in high. Not really good enough of a bomb. The rockets actually land in the end, but it's just not enough damage from that distance. Despite the best efforts of the 2 here, without any more damage by Flick, this won't do it. Seeds alive, he was still intact, not up yet by any means, and fairly aggressive. And unfortunately for Charlie, he blocked the point instead of going for the people going last. They were weak, maybe a chance to get them, but they're just rotating behind the soldier while everyone's spawning, and you just walk over everybody here. Whole combo gets denied. A couple of people going down the nerdRage as well. Seeds in some trouble as well, goes down. The scouts fight a good fight here. Might have cost them the combo, but I mean, this might just be good enough to save the day, at least for now.
Yeah, that was unbelievable ratting there from Charlie. He just completely shut down that second cap. Hits a nice rocket onto Seeds as he backs out, and the follow-up just came in from Flick and just completely converted that second. They're on mid now. Just 1 player up from nerdRage. They're going to look to deny some forwards, but they're only going to get more Alexi out of it. So GlobalClan are on the front foot a little bit here. Just a 50% Ubrad, but nerdRage again looking to keep their finger on the trigger, keep the thumbs pressed against GlobalClan as they're sort of exchanging on this mid.
Yeah, they're all going deep. Josh down already. Mathis and Charlie try to get on the medic. That's enough damage to do it in the end and get the medic down, but it's so little so late right now. 3 rounds to go to Golden Cap. Gazzy the only survivor right now with more Lexi spawning back on last as NG. It's going to be a temporary win for GlobalClan. They have to make it to last with this one as well. Granted, they've done it before once. Certainly not impossible, but time is against them right now. These pushes have to work as quick as they can, and you can't afford to rush these things too much, or else you'll just make mistakes inherently. So you got to pick your options well now on GlobalClan. If you have any chance on a comeback, it is now.
Yeah, spawners up from nerdRage. GlobalClan.EU do have a bit of time to scout this out, try and perhaps take the gun down before they use him, but they're electing to just go straight in here. So much pressure on the gun. Do manage to get it down. They've got good control over this one side of point. Flick does try to play it, but shut down near instantly there by Josh, who's in so deep on the combo there, just causing a real ruckus, but they're on the point as he tries to salvage at the end there, but just Dowie and Darga, the last survivors from that fight, but they are not being allowed out. Nazboy does manage to pick off Darga, and Dowie completely caught in IT there by Mora Alexi.
Yeah, just really, really consequent cleanup by nerdRage here, and unfortunately not good enough on last, but GlobalClan, the bombs themselves weren't that bad, but like you said, the denial on point was just huge. Spread them thin, and they just couldn't get more damage going with the push over the point to get anywhere close to the combo and clean up any kills. So well done by nerdRage to stay alive. Forward spawn sniper quickly switched off. Everyone's making sure that Skull stay that way as well. Staring at the door, Sing pumps the door just in case. You never know. Won't be necessary here just yet. No one's even in the other forward spawn on sniper anymore. Either way though, big advantage to nerdRage. They can keep this going, and they will immediately as well. A bomb high through the sky for Joshua and Nazboy, trying to land basically right on top of them here for some damage. And the flashes are there to try to keep these guys alive, but working not so well for Josh. Nazboy is still alive. He trades a dagger in the end, but that is rotating away from the entire flank behind him, trying to fight a fight on mid.
It looks like they want to try and back up mid, which is working to a degree of success. There are 3 players just sort of chasing Nubby around. They are on this second now, and both of the players sitting around Seeds are just doing huge work, not letting anyone get in on them, and they managed to convert that cap. 2 players up from GlobalClan. That's what it's going to get. Oh, never mind. But nerdRage piling into last, just Darga remains. And I'm not quite sure what GlobalClan were going for there.
I mean, this was supposed to be like some level of a backup, and then people come in also from mid again. Because certainly that was the plan for the soldiers, I believe, and connect with people and just push them on second, basically. But it didn't work so well. They couldn't keep the captain alive. Pixie got pushed back by Navi, and I think just eats the rocket immediately from the rolling out soldier. Couldn't stay on mid, falls back. And the moment he gets there, immediately sees his meta, and George lands on his face. And
oh, Navi's so fast through choke, managed to get Dowie for free. Oh, does die for it. Charlie going down as well to a nice rocket from Josh. nerdRage are 3 numbers down, but they preserve those all-important heals. But Seeds could be out on his own. He's a bit stuck as GlobalClan are jumping up and around and above him. They're in lobby now. They're not going to let him get out here as he's the last remaining player, with Gazy being picked off as well. So it's going to be GlobalClan.EU not just securing that mid, but managing to get the frag onto their medic. A nice bit of return there after Nubby shut down Dowie right at the start there.
Well, I couldn't have said no survival at a better time on this mid-fight, I think. But either way, I mean, they make the most of it, right? If your vet dies early, you gotta be ready to retaliate by either killing most of them and get the point at least and waste their time on mid later, or get the medic and at least exchange the Uber situation in some favor of your own. Here, bomb comes through, that's Navi once again getting the medic, going down right back to spawn where he came from, and I mean, it's just a fight against a wall of players right now. Gazy's trying to 9 people on Pyro, trying to have some fun with this. Unfortunately, this is about every air blast that matters. Everyone's just walking past the Pyro, right on the medic, get the kill, all to Seeds anyway, and I'm sure at least one person is not very happy with this.
This isn't garbage time, this is chaos time. Everything came out of nowhere at the same time. Oralixi hitting the air shot, the headshot, and the funny spoon coming in from Nubby. Nazboy is looking to return onto Flick, but not after the cap was converted. So GlobalClan, unfortunately at this stage, not going to be able to win this map, but they're just going to look to have a bit of fun with it, look to keep morale high. Nubby does get spooned there by Charlie.
Well, 2 can play this game here, tries to get that as well. Unfortunately lands just short of Seeds, and that's a nice shot for George as well to pick Dagger out the sky to variant of the 2 survivors, and they don't want to see any anymore, so they just go right back into mid. Gas teams are Flake down behind him, tries to pull out a funny play here, won't work too much, and unfortunately with it not working, it won't be funny either, so Matt down, and looks like Seed System only medic with the last lap here.
Yeah, just a bit of a scrabble in these last remaining minutes. Everyone's just going for funny spoons, trying to keep spirits high going into the second map. So nerdRage are going to pick up this first one. GlobalClan.EU, of course, still can take points away from this week if they can pull it out of the bag on Sunshine. And the crits actually does come out of nerdRage to get Darga straight away. Double soldier just spamming pipes into the spawn of GlobalClan. Everyone's having a bit of fun with it.
I mean, hey, you don't play Face It all week, only to not practice your crit skills for an official, right? You gotta make that practice count in the end here, and certainly it's getting to last, so this should about wrap this up. Dowie as the last man standing on the point, will die for the cause, but it's a lost cause as it is. 6-1 win for nerdRage. Hot start for GlobalClan, certainly showed some interesting stuff on the mid-fights, but nerdRage's experience is shining through over the course of the game. He took a while to adjust to, as GlobalClan was not able to keep up with it anymore, and that's just all it takes. nerdRage as strong as ever, bringing this to score difference for map 1.
Yeah, nerdRage really proving themselves to be the ones to beat in this competition. GlobalClan have put us some sort of good preseason results, good cup results, but ultimately nerdRage just got in their groove, they got comfortable, and they just managed to shut GlobalClan's aggression down, which they are sort of well known for. GlobalClan are going to look to sort of have a return, try and take points on Sunshine. I think what I've seen personally, at least, it seems to be the weaker of these 2 maps we're going to be seeing this week, but we could have an upset on our hands.
I mean, it's not completely impossible, but with how it's going, it's hard to imagine that GlobalClan can, just by the mercy of a different map, catch up this much here. nerdRage certainly has maps they prefer of others, but I don't think by enough to bridge the gap here. GlobalClan needs to make the most of this, right? Any match that is a loss for you and you feel like it's going to be one going into it, you just got to take as good practice, right? And what better practice is than against one of the best teams in the division right now, in the league, more so than anything, actually. Gotta take some valuable lessons out of this, especially on the second map here on Sunshine later, after the short break here between the maps, because next week, once again, it is time for Sunshine once more, and it's top 5 coming up for them, actually, now that I look at the schedule here. So, while it might arguably get easier, not by a lot, and they gotta make the most of the time given on Sunshine next week as much as this week, I suppose. It looks like we have some logs on the screen as well. I'm not the biggest logs person, to be entirely frank. But, I mean, at the very least, it just shows you the general performance of players. And, I mean, even with a game that ended up a little bit less close than expected maybe at the beginning, it is nice to see that people are performing to the expectations here, especially on nerdRage more so than anything, unfortunately, for Global Clan. But overall, a really good performance here. Seeds with only 7 deaths to always 15 after the early stages, after a little bit of slow play here, certainly made that shown quite a bit, I want to say.
Yeah, the log's very reflective of the game state. You can just see the nerdRage scouts are more Alexi and Gazy, just really coming clutch there, just keeping Seeds alive near permanently, and just not allowing themselves to be punished at any situation. They managed to pick up 33 and 28 kills respectively, only dying 24 times between the two of them. So a really solid shift put in by them, and I can imagine we're going to see sort of a very similar approach on Sunshine.
Yeah, speaking of Faceit practice, they could have probably practiced this on Faceit. I know Nasboy has yesterday on first-hand experience, I want to say. So, I mean, if that goes anything like that game yesterday, then we're going to see Nasboy jumping all over the place.
Yes, of course, one of the coveted Faceit maps is Sunshine. So any Faceit is going to be nice and toasty warm for this one. Core's going to look to see if GlobalClan.EU are going to sort of seek to shake up their game plan perhaps a little bit. Their aggression was really getting shut down quite effectively by nerdRage. They were just getting punished for multiple points at a time. And I can imagine that they need to sort of look at that and see how they can stop this map going the same way Process did.
It's weird too, because like if you remember back in the first mid fight, that was like really, really well coordinated by Global Clan, but it really just felt a lot of it came down to, especially on the mids, that while Global Clan had like these few things that they were actually really good at, it just didn't matter when nerdRage is just so much better at like a wider array of things, and they can just throw this mid fight at them once, and then like the next mid fight immediately nerdRage just knows what they want to do against it to deal with it much better and just come out the better at the end every single time after that. And this adaptability just makes a huge difference for them.
Yeah, certainly. So it looked like, particularly in that first mid, at least, it looked like Global Clan were quite keen to sort of catch nerdRage while they were going for their own aggression on that mid fight. And then throughout the rest of it, it just looked like the complete flippant came out where nerdRage just thought, we're going to let Global Clan do something. We'll let our soldiers just be a little bit of a pest, and we'll just completely punish them whatever they choose to do. And their coordination ultimately came out on top for them quite consistently.
You know what I need to actually learn at some point? I'm gonna probably ask Seeds later at some point today. What the story is with Nasboy still playing officials on his alt account. He didn't play all the officials last season on his alt account, just most of them. Certainly, Seeds has to know. I mean, man's an admin. I mean, if anyone knows, it's probably him. But that was like a thing that happened like early last season. I don't even think he played it much in the Highlander season. He played for fun last season. He had the last few months on Spy of all things, for anyone not aware. And yes, he still aims like that on Spy, just a little bit less. It's weird. I don't know the story. I really have to ask. It's kind of curious because clearly his other account still works, but I don't know what's up with it.
Yeah, I can imagine today he might be able to properly identify the colors of his teammates and the colors of the enemies. He certainly did on that last map, putting in a good shift for them. So
I know Spy is very difficult. Okay, not everyone's good on Spy.
Yeah, you're not used to the name flashing up whenever you look at any player in the server. It's confusing. You can't blame a man.
Dude, Spy can see anyone's health. It's completely busted, dude.
I think it is. You should have one of those instead of a medic with a solemn vow. Same job.
It's always interesting to me actually to see which medics are not using the solemn vow and which are using the I want to say Stalker was the Ubersaw. I feel like you just can tell a shift between like a medic that prefers to play like safe and like team oriented, and which one's like a completely like a complete crackhead for lack of better words, and just wants to get these like high roll kills with the Ubersaw and just use immediately, kill everything with the Uber, and just have these like high highs instead.
You do say that, but Seeds obviously does opt for the solemn vow there, but we saw in 2 separate instances on last pushes that he just got a bit too bored.
To be fair, that was like at the end of a game that was more or less already won in his sake, in his defense here. And otherwise, I think Seeds very much is much more of a passive medic. I think almost to his own detriment in at least a few instances in terms of like coordination with some teams he used to be on where they wanted to play more aggressive. But overall, obviously, it's working really well. Can't argue that it's not with how well the man has performing for the past few seasons here in Premiership. And this match alone here after the first map being a straight win 6-1 for nerdRage Global Clan has one more to go through to see if they can put up a fight to the Giants here and take anything away from them.
Yeah, gonna look to cause an upset. Global Clan here after sort of buckling under the pressure as nerdRage put their foot on the gas in that last map. Nubby is hiding in this valley area, so you're gonna look to sort of high bomb at some point. I can imagine Global Clan playing very reserved, just playing to height, not looking to create any aggression whatsoever just yet. But Charlie and Matez bomb forward, as I do say. Alexi manages to shut Charlie down, does die to Darga. Izzy Nubby manages to pick up a couple ancillary frags there as well. They're just piling into Global Clan. The health really not great from them. Doey just 30 HP, trying to slip out of Cafe. nerdRage perhaps not content with letting them get out as Josh and Nubby are looking to pounce. Doey serves it into Shutter, but Nubby's there to catch him, and Ixie going down as well. A really clean mid there from nerdRage, and the momentum is very much in their hands with their full Uber advantage. 4 players up over Global Clan and a really clean mid.
Yeah, you love to see it at the end. Just beautiful bit of coordination, not double bombing, which I mean is really good by its own right. But if the medic just serves one of those, the second one won't hit on the double bomb. So you just send one soldier in deep, get the medic to serve, and you just have the second soldier ready on the landing instead. Nowhere to go for the medic from there. Clean up the kills. Much different pace from nerdRage here on the first bit fight as well. A lot slower than they were looking like by the end of the last map here. So maybe just taking it one map at a time here. Fresh start from here, taking it slow at the beginning, see how they need to adjust against what Global Clan's throwing them. Starting off a lot hotter already though, as the push comes into last, right onto the gun, takes a second to go down, but not a big deal just yet. Ixie in spawn as heavy as the post-Uber commences here, can be a menace. Need to be careful about it. Once you just rotate left, take the side where the opponents had. The soldier standing here, Flick goes down in the crossfire as well. Gazzy opens up the point. Heavy still standing behind it though, with the Devilman down, a bit of a problem to deal with. Navi goes in for the damage, gets the kill. Charlie and Dagger with all the work left to do between the two of them here, and not much loaded anymore. Dagger just out of ammo. Dowie, however, fully charged. He has Evo ready to go. This will be enough to scare nerdRage away, but like I said, with nobody fully loaded, they cannot chase at all. Spawn's coming in too late to deal any damage as well, so nerdRage will escape, and once again with advantage, mind you, as well.
Yeah, in spite of what was ultimately a failed push, nerdRage are very much still on this front foot. They have got the Uber advantage in hand. All of their players are up. Charlie is in behind as well, trying to apply a bit of pressure. Blick going down too, and potential for Matez to die as well in this low right area. It's looking like nerdRage are going to look to instantly aggressive. They are just 5% away from Uber, looking to seek revenge for the inadequacies of their most recent push. Ixie taking huge damage. They're playing to the points straight away. GlobalClan.EU going to have to pile straight onto there because the cap is going to come near imminently out of nerdRage.
And there you go. That's going to be the first round going to nerdRage here. Just once again, looking very well methodically set up here to see what GlobalClan's throwing at them and deal with it quite nicely. Another mid-fight like this is going to be spelling a bad position for GlobalClan for the rest of the game here. Being the one down is obviously not the end of the world, but being one down stuck at disadvantaged positions for the rest of the game is a whole different story. So they need a much hotter start here. The bombs actually have to get through once they're in the air for the side of GlobalClan. For what it's worth, it's going to be a different mid-on entirely already, trying to go Tetris, but Navi and Gazzy are waiting for them. Josh in from the other side as well, starting to deal some damage, but mostly just being absorbed pretty quickly. Dowie eventually caught in the crossfire, but nerdRage has people scattered all across. Natboy under the point wants to push over with the aggression they had, but it wasn't enough to get many kills. Sure, the mat's down, but they're still surrounded here.
Yeah, seemingly in that scenario, GlobalClan were caught completely aghast by those two hiders, but their two scouts in Flick and Ixie just did a really stellar job of shutting them down and ultimately do convert that mid-fight in their favor. They do lose Dowie for it, but manage to pick off Seeds quite late at the end there. So yeah, they're really sort of solid mid from them.
A really big bomb actually by Gallagher, just immediately lands on the medic here, perfect timing to get him right on the exit of Flowers to get that kill on the mat of nerdRage. Just gonna help quite a bit. He Dowie was the faster to mid now, but you still have to be careful about anyone hiding, and Navi is certainly one of them. Around the corner, gets the damage going, one misses. Josh comes in from the other side, but can't get close just yet. He scouts maybe not too far away as well. No, that actually connects. I didn't even see that, and Dowie certainly didn't see it coming either. That's a huge game changer. That should have just been the medic getting out safely, but it will just turn everything on its head now.
Yeah, Josh just hits the cross-map rocket against that wall and picks off Dowie so low on the hit points there. So GlobalClan, again, they're on the back foot. They have possession of mid. The fight ultimately does go their way, but nerdRage have this full Uber advantage now, and they're looking to not slouch about with it.
Alright, let's see. Here comes the push in forward. They're having people from every single entrance into mid just to make sure they don't have anyone unattended getting into the back lines here. For now, that seems to be just the case already. Everyone's forced back quite early. Navi got on the flank already. Checks out what's happening on second here. How they can approach this the best way possible. But as long as they have invincibility, they always will have a safety net. And they're going to actually use it right away here instead of holding this forever. They want to just get damage going. Nas going up high. Lands right on the scout here. Hits the pipe though. That's actually huge damage on the scout. And everyone with the clear here. Josh going deep. Picks up dagger and lobby off of that bomb as well. Won't escape, but really needs to if they kill everyone else. And with Mathis getting caught as well. Second point under wraps already. This will just go straight into last. Ixi winning the fight over Navi as well. That's gonna help, but it's just the scout left alive here after Dowie got eaten alive by the stakes. It's just straight in up here. nerdRage needed one opening to completely bust this round open.
Yeah, it looked like Global Clan sort of played for the survivability of their medic there, but nerdRage just converted that cap so quickly and managed to convert so many frags onto Global Clan. They just weren't able to do anything with anything. So we are going to our third mid now. We are 6 minutes in. nerdRage are two rounds up, so looking to be in a bit of a comfortable position here. Global Clan definitely on the back foot again. We're seeing a very aggressive move from Nubby, but it returns no cigar as Global Clan are rolling out Valley instead.
See how this goes once again, like you said, mirrored mid here. Enemy side Tetris, but there we go, the damage is already in. Josh just lands on people right away. No mercy at all. Charlie tries to do the same, but misses the shot onto Morlexi. Damage is there though. The rest of the team straight on the medic. That's the least they need. Dagger Killbane, well, falls to his death more likely at the end. Could have Killbane just the same. Did the damage they needed to do here to at least make this less of a loss here for the side of Global Clan. But this was just such a great start for them at the beginning already that there was just barely any recovery other than a sack on the medic.
Yeah, we saw quite consistently on the last map the mistake that Global Clan were making, or rather what they weren't able to get away with, was a kill on Seeds on any of the mid fights, but they've managed to do it pretty successfully this time around. They do ultimately have to give up sort of mid for it, but the spawners at nerdRage are sort of slowly rolling in as Global Clan are going to be there to contest.
Yeah, they want to at least keep up the fight here, and I mean, once again, like last mid fight here, Dowie did get the earlier death, which as long as the other medic also dies, is some benefit here, but with the entry not working at all, just getting stuffed early, XC Charlie down immediately. They're not looking to be in a good position here. Dagger out late, just about gets the arrow mid-air there by Dowie to get back out, but they might have to use this Uber on the back foot here instead of aggressive going forward, but they're trying to cover the distance quickly here, trying to get to mid. It's not quite enough yet again though. Falling shot once more, Navi at least gets caught here in the end, but they still have 4 people in front of them and Josh in the backlines to worry about. They know about that one, it seems, but need to be careful either way because this damage is already looking to come in, misses the air shot, but they still are falling back so far. These has as well now, so they can just wrap this fight up whenever they want to if they want to pull the trigger on the Uber, but they want to get close first and then pull the trigger here. Uber in on the scout, right over Dagger. They're trying to escape the under area, but there's no escaping. This Gaddy is just on the other side. Both scouts sandwich them in lobby to take them out here, and it's just looking dire for Global Clan.
Yeah, certainly so. They just got so caught there, and with Matez dying early, he was sort of hoping for an arrow, but the wrong projectile hit him first in Nazboy's sticky instead, so he went down really early there. And again, he has spawned now, looking to sort of make his mark, but Moralexi just walking all over him, but he does hit a nice rocket, and Moralexi sees the spawn queue.
Yeah, back to spawn it goes. Unfortunately for Global Clan, only for 2 of them, which isn't a huge opening. A third might change things here entirely. Josh getting caught as well, some sticks to push through as well, but if the bomb's coming through where the bombs can't be denied by the sticky trap, that's gonna get right onto the double man there, gets caught as well, try to watch the trap, maybe for a little bit too long then, boy.
Yeah, Global Clan have managed to edge their way out of last. On second now, they are sitting at a 40% disad, but with number down from nerdRage out of Nazboy, they're not going to look to sort of make this aggression too soon. And feeling out Cafe, but Global Clan going to have to sort of clock that, be aware of that as they're building really close to Shuster, just 10% away now.
Yeah, this Uber will help quite a bit on the defense here, but they're still stuck on the back. But I mentioned after the first round, you don't want to be stuck on disadvantage on a down scoreline for yourself all too much here. Now it's 2 down as well. A little bit less time even to go around from there when I first mentioned it, so situation hasn't exactly improved for them here. At least it slows down now, gives them some time to think and how they want to approach this, but unfortunately Mappa skips the thinking part, just goes straight into Cafe, takes the fight with Josh and will go down in the 1v1 against the Irishman. So 1 down already, can't afford to lose another one, and maybe nerdRage won't even go for anything else but the medic now if they're given the chance. Charlie tries to not let them set up in choke too much, but here's the bombs either way.
Yeah, Josh comes in, does get shut down really excellently by Ixie, as does Nubby, so really solid shift out of them. Charlie just survives on 1 hit point there, as nerdRage not looking to sort of give it up just yet. They are applying a bit of pressure in this flower area, but ultimately are going to have to resign themselves to mid, but going to hope to force GlobalClan as they come through, as Doey does eat a big stick.
Alright, this is the opening they might have been looking for. People are forced back. Seeds, however, is not the one taking damage, everyone else is, and with that they're still able to heal people forward in the end and just walk over Dagger before Dowie can react. Medic drops the Demo Man here. Uber still out anyway, makes this a bit of a disaster. Bomb comes through by Charlie, hopes to catch him and choke off of his own team's mistakes, but can't clean up anything off of it in the end. 3 down means a 3-second point for Gazi to take, while the other 5 players of his team try to see if they can take this straight into last year with the momentum they have. Early Uber try to just pop through immediately, get the gun. Dowie stuck on it as well. Point taken on second, they're too busy fragging people onto the spawn door though, but either way can fall back at the cap, and before Dagger can even land there, that will be the point cap for nerdRage. 3-0 lead, really strong performance so far.
Yeah, certainly. So it seems on the side of GlobalClan, Charlie's sort of just throwing himself, trying to salvage everything he can, putting in a solid shift for his team, but ultimately not coming out good that time around with the 4. So nerdRage, as we said, they're exactly where they want to be. 3 rounds up, 19 minutes left in the map. I can imagine they're going to look to make it a round difference win, as Nubby is straight into their choke. Hits Doug with a nice rocket, but manages to surf it away. So ultimately just going to slow nerdRage down there, and Josh going down 2. It's going to have to be a back out there for nerdRage. This GlobalClan are swarming the point.
I wouldn't disagree with you saying that nerdRage wants to just close this out in, scoreline and call it a day early, but I don't think Nubby got that call. Just went deep and they tried to make the most of it, and Josh caught as well, trying to sneak in the other way. Not working out too well. Unfortunately for GlobalClan, it's not going to be looking to be more than mid just now. Loose flick on entry here, and the crit comes out actually as well, but that's why it doesn't hit a thing just yet. Has to have the sticky right under the Demo Man, or the soldier, sorry, to land right on that and get that kill in the end. At least, more actually with one more cleanup as well. He put it on the scout, that will work. Charlie caught as well, trying to bomb in somewhere behind him, but can't really go anywhere at all in the end. Uber comes in the other way now, but the 3 down, this should be kind of a trying to just go disappear deep behind him. Spawns are coming, they need to be careful. Math is the other way, might just get in uncontested here, but nope, gets spotted in time, and in the meantime they're just eating the rest of the 3 people on mid alive already.
Yeah, Josh comes in, does do a good bit of cleanup. Really excellent sort out there by nerdRage, and GlobalClan are just rushing back to Lars Matez, so weak to HP. More Alexi in a hot pursuit, and Darga going down as well. They have got 4 spawners up, but they haven't got the heals, they haven't got the off classes, and they're really not ready for nerdRage here as they crits out again. Ixie and Doey going down to the first rocket of Josh, and it's all out. Global hands in a nice air rocket there from Josh, picking off Flick at the apex of that fight.
That would have been a lot better if that was a good air shot at the end as well. But you still take those. Peter is still proud for his own frag movie gains at the end of the season. So at least something was gained out of this round here in the end. nerdRage, however, also gained something more than GlobalClan did, which is, other than the frags here, another round on the scoreboard. It is match point now, 17 minutes left, but this could take as little as 2 if nerdRage cleans this up well. Now we have the same ideas before. This time not going quite as aggressive, just lands on the roof instead. Tries to cut off some positioning here if they can. Slow them down here. And Josh, not so lucky, gets stuck by the scout. Nubby in the other way, but for them it might not be working. For everyone else, much more so here. The soldiers sit in the sky, take all the attention away for the rest of the team to cross, get some damage in. Bomb in by Charlie, lands on the counterpart here of Josh, but that's all the aggression that's going to work for them. Dagger going out, and that worked out surprisingly well. Despite the bombs looking just a bit sketchy, they knew what to do with them.
Yeah, nerdRage again looked like they wanted to replicate the success of their last bid. They have pulled up the crits as well. I thought something was a bit fishy when more Alexi was building on rollout. Wasn't going to say anything, but they are looking to use straight in to this top right area. It is on Nazboy, does get Doey straight away, and Charlie, the most important ones in that push there. They're taking huge ground, and GlobalClan are really looking to be quite uncomfortable here, as they have got a player on second as well.
Well, this wasn't the greatest crit, unfortunately, and the Flick's there behind them as well. They have at least something to worry about. Gets Josh actually as well here. Very unfortunate. Ixie as well. Everyone's just sneaking about, trying to do the best they can to just make a mess of things. Nabi on the Huntsman won't get much. That's not the play to go for maybe for them at the end here, but I think they already learned that lesson very quickly. This will just fall apart the second it started. GlobalClan might not be good enough to contest them in an even fight, but the moment they give them even the tiniest of a chance, they're just all over it.
Gazy's managed to pull up the pyro as well, looking to contest Charlie in Valley, but has to back out instead. I wonder if funny spook comes out to Darga. You can't keep getting away with it.
Maybe I slowly start to understand why Twiku hates this weapon. If this happens to you on a daily basis, then I feel like that will be just a stance you take against the market gardener at some point here. Either way, though, fight keeps up going for a while here, and is this Seeds pausing or ending the server? Who knows?
Well, based on the connection problems, I can't really say.
I would imagine the Seeds ending the server a little bit early. Public record here, this is the second time Seed screwed us over for the server today. The first one was because the password just didn't work. The second one is him just ending the server too early. So thank you, Seed. It's very cool. But at least he won, so I mean, I don't know, history remembers the winners or something, and I guess it's him in this case.
Yeah, so ending 5-0 nerdRage there. We have a little peruse at these logs. Very telling of the game state again. Nazboy manages to pick up 400 DPM, going 16-5, making it look pretty easy with more Alexi as well, going 18-4. So, sort of again, very polarizing between the two teams, as we saw on Process as well. It just seems like the scouts on behalf of nerdRage are just completely unkillable, and they just always get the frag and never get the die. So, yeah, really convincing there from nerdRage, and definitely proving themselves again to be the ones to beat, with Seeds only dying 3 times across that 15-minute map.
See, I think, like, Seeds was in chat just now, apologizing for ending the server. I think this should be in the YouTube board as well, just for the public record. We don't hate Seeds, but it's still funny that it happened. However, I think he's just actually flexing the fact that he's sleep deprived and still not really dying at all. I think is really what's happening here, so I see what you're onto, Seeds.
The onion ring, we see right through it. But yes.
Well, other than that, yeah, just like, I mean, a much better start for nerdRage right away, right? I think they just needed a map to, well, not even a map, just the first few minutes of the map 1 to get adjusted, see what they're all about in Global Clan in like a serious environment, not scrims. And once they got the hang of it, they could take the easy lead and take it easy from there. And despite some funny classes, let's say, at the end, they were had too much for Global Clan to not be broken men already and accept defeat, basically.
As soon as you pull out the Pyro and Spoon to push last, I think that's time to call it a day. So, unfortunately there for Global Clan. They put in a good effort on Process, but ultimately didn't come good. Gonna look to sort of redeem themselves in week 2, but pretty solid there.
Yeah, and week 2 should be an interesting one as well here. Fixtures should be out soon. I think a lot of Prem games have been scheduled already, so stay tuned on TFTV or TF.GG to find out next week's games as soon as you can here. But just looking at the fixtures next week, it's going to be a bunch of big ones already. Feint against nerdRage, Gardebateri against Goblin Clan, Global Clan against Top 5, and Aura Electro against the Buzz Crew. All of these sound like really, really good games to me on the first glance, and if they aren't, that's all the more reason to be excited, because that means someone's just a lot better than the opposition here, which is a good storyline by itself as well. So I'm looking forward to next week. I hope all of you are as well, and stay tuned on Team Fortress TV, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, gang.